Hello, Internets. Today I'm taking a break from my Paleo Office series to bring another installment of my Barefoot boot search saga. Today I'm going to be unboxing and giving my first impressions of this Japanese Kickstarter project, rain socks, which I hope can revive my Feelmax Kuuva 2s. Stick around. Hopefully the sun will cooperate here. Let's use scissors. Yeah. What do we got? Okay. So, if the Feelmax Kuuva 2s weren't goofy looking enough, these look like they're going to add a whole new level of goofiness. Okay. So here we go. Sort of rubberized, or maybe they were silicone coverings. They've got some texture on the bottom, running front to back. They probably would have had more grip if they ran the other way. Let's see how they fit over. So before I tilt the camera down and try putting these on, just a review. What I've been looking for with this whole series is a pair of boots that I can wear in the shoulder seasons, especially when I'm out in the wilderness on a canoe trip or a longer hike, but also just when I'm out for a few hours. I'm not looking for stability or cushioning. In fact, I'd rather not have them. But the one thing I would like is to be able to keep my feet warm and dry when it's cold and wet. After a lot of searching, the first boots I got were these Feelmax Kuuva 2s, and they were awesome for something like 18 months, but then they started to fail around where the rubber attached to the leather. I got another pair of boots in the interim, but then Feelmax got in touch with me and they made these Kuuva 3s available to me at a discount. So I snatched these up and I reviewed them. They're great in some respects. You can check out that review, but they weren't what I was going to take on a hike or a long canoe trip. So I was still kind of searching. So these are my main options when it's cold and wet. These are my steel-toed muck boots. They're great for high-risk activities or for throwing on just to stomp down to the chicken coop, but I don't want to spend too much of my life in big, clunky, heavy boots. Feelmax Kuuva 2s, was happy with them for a while until they started failing. These are the Kuuva 3s. I've actually been wearing these a ton this winter. They sit by the door like this with the laces just stuffed in, and I stuff my feet into them and head out the door. And I've been doing that all winter, and that's been great for a little snow or slush, but I wouldn't wear these on a winter hike. Now these Kuuva 2s I would wear on a cold, wet hike, except for the leaks around the bottom. So what I want to see today is if these rain socks might add an acceptable level of waterproofing redundancy, to see if I might consider taking these Kuuva 2s back out on a longer, more remote trip. Slide these on. And so, you're obviously not going to win any fashion awards with these, but it looks like they might keep you fairly dry. So just like these Kuuva 2s, it doesn't look like anyone's going to win any fashion awards wearing these things. But they do sort of emulate a bean boot with a rubber bottom and a waterproofable leather upper. Now, of course, the big caveat here is that if you were to step in water above the lip of this rubber, you'll overtop and this will fill up, and then you're going to get right back to that failure point. But this might do pretty well for wet grass or slush, where you might not have liquid pouring in. And maybe I can find some quick way, maybe gaiters over top of this might keep water from running down. But then what are you going to attach the gaiters to? I'll have to think about this. Maybe a neoprene gasket over that. At any rate, this seems like not too bad of an option. One of the reasons that I prefer the Kuuva 2s to the Kuuva 3s is that the Kuuva 2s can be submersed to about here, whereas the Kuuva 3s can only be submersed to about here. So you got another 2 or 3 inches of submersion in these. Of course, you're not going to be able to submerge these with these rain socks, and it looks like you might end up with a problem of rain pouring down here and then pooling in the bottoms. But I wonder if that could be averted to some extent with a neoprene sleeve put over them or something. Or maybe even just rain pants extending down might shed most of that water, but you wouldn't be able to submerge it. At any rate, I will try to wear these out when it's wet at the next few opportunities, although it is already warming up here in Maine. But I will wear these around and see how long they last. They did send 3 pairs of these rain socks. They're not meant to last forever. So maybe I'll just keep wearing this one pair until it wears through, and then I'll have some idea of how long the other 2 might last. In a very real sense, this is a disposable kind of solution, and that's not my favorite. But on the other hand, I don't actually get out into the wilderness as often as I would like to think that I might. And so even if these only last, let's say, 20 days, how many days of the year is it actually critical that I keep my feet warm and dry? Maybe not even 20. So if I just throw these in the bottom of a pack and only bring them out when it's absolutely necessary, they may last me quite a while. They did send 3 pairs, so I'll wear this first pair pretty regularly and just see how durable they are, and then keep that second and third pair in reserve for when I actually need them. So I will report back when I have more to say about these, but I'm very interested to give them a shot. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Or actually, you'll see me next time. Thanks.